Hello again, and happy Wednesday to all. Hope you're having a good day. We are back again today. We're playing some more Disco Elysium. We are desperately trying to get our shit together. Um, where we left off last time is we have done some preliminary interviews. We have discovered that there was still a body hanging up outside. I got sick several times, and now we're just trying to keep it together. We did find the murder victim's clothes, and I found my paperwork, which is a new one on me. I'd never stumbled across that before. Still plenty of things to learn. But yeah, just join me for episode 2 of Foghorn's Mysterious Mysteries. Also had a banger of an idea for a logo. I think I might be changing my banner soon. Let's get right into it. Should still have... Whoa, everything just seized up for a second. Should have everything still loaded up from last time. Why are we not? There we go.
Hello again, sir.
Ah yes, the small child.
Crime
What's this crime
fiction
business
is about
about?
murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals. And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. Head, yes.
Not head, child. Heads.
Isn't that very dangerous? Unlike you, sir. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
What do you mean, sir?
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that. You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
I sure hope you are, sir.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar, somehow. There's something you're missing. You have absolutely no idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something you heard again.
Crime fiction is about murders or...
Wait, did I miss
And
something?
you don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. Head. Yeah.
Not head, Chuck.
Isn't that very dangerous? Unlike you, sir. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
I'm gonna investigate this bookstore, so I've got the time.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Wonderful! Did you talk to her? Great! On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. I expect an answer. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. God, I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of life. She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change. She's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress. She's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
And hell freezes over? Never mind. It's not a good topic to get into.
Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne. It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighbourhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead for sure. He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
Super silent. Almost inaudibly so.
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
A glimmer of sadness blinks through the well-crafted exterior.
We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite busy. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand.
I was unaware anybody was here. For whatever reason, my viewer count on my OBS just does not seem to accurately reflect who's watching. Oh, yeah, I've noticed that I've played through the very beginning of this game a couple times, and it seems like every single time I get different dialogue options just based on what skills you choose. How I built my character this time, I'm getting different choices than last time too.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand.
It also seems to, like, I asked the daughter questions first, and that seems to also have unlocked some dialogue options. Like, I deduced that she was chewing her fingers, or her fingernails.
The woman looks aloof. Her features much softer.
Let's see about this curtain.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
The real beginning. Let's say day one is what I mean.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
I haven't gotten any farther than the day one. Like, I've done the initial investigation. I've did the debrief with Kim at the end of the day, and then that's it. Oh, I might take a look at that. I did not know that there was any. I did not know that there was a map up there. I've noticed that there is a place for a map. I just never came across where it was at.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw.
Yeah,
inside, a disturbing fish
I plan on playing this until it's done. So
stares at you. This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural
Seminese,
scourges.
that's the same as the guy on the bridge, right?
Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminine Islands down south. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time.
So she
The
thinks the
curtains
shop
remain
is
shut
cursed.
before you.
I bet that has something to do with it. Let's see. Just pull up the curtain.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains. You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
Oh, the girl outside will tell you it's cursed, that her mom thinks the shop is cursed if you ask her about it. That's how I found out.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's just talk about this first, all right? This
Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say.
Okay. Yeah, you can come at this game a couple different ways, it seems
There
like.
is something mysterious about the curtains.
There it is.
Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
We're getting within now.
Volumetric ship compressor.
Finally got that done.
Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials.
Oh,
It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts.
so I take it there's probably a locked door on the other side. I haven't gotten enough of these internalized thoughts. I didn't realize that they raised your level caps. Okay, so you're saying that there is a map up here that might be useful. Oop. Turn on my Steam thing. Okay. Picture book.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over.
Oh, I bet that's the map, huh?
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of
See, I
Insulinda,
have no,
a map of Revachol, and a map of
I
Martinez.
have no money. Is the problem?
This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme. Ozon, Laurentide, Fas à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade
I'll try it
Islands.
out.
All just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast
Okay.
of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you.
Wait, what? This one stands on. Oh, okay.
The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Mwindi is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seo is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, You could scarcely afford them.
Yeah, I really like how, depending on like how you build your character's psychology, it changes how he views the world.
They're quite valuable, though they might not look it.
90 cents?
The
I
map of
barely have
Martinez
enough.
is 90 cents, though. That old thing. It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue,
Oh,
set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
I've seen the
The
statue.
place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business. Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
Okay, so we've got the map. Wait, what's this? Damaged ledger. Okay. I haven't checked out some of this stuff.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately touristy locations. Year 48 resides on the upper right corner.
The only reason I didn't try it is because I didn't think Kim would like it.
Your finger moves through the various streets, across Rue de Saint-Ghislain and Rue Saint-Sipar, over Saint-Brun and Martinez North. Finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
Yeah, he just gave you a look. Yeah, I had never found the ledger before. In fact, whatever reason, I've been in that alleyway, I don't even know how many times, and I never noticed that you could interact with the trash can. And I suspect I know where this mug is from, too.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
Guessing he means...
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily.
Ew.
All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better. An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
So... okay.
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property. It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved. How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
Oh, this seems like the kind of thing if I go too far down this route, might damage morale.
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
Huh.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay,
Interesting.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible. Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Interesting. Yeah, I know, and I know that when they made the final cut of this game, they added like ideology quests, which weren't in the original, and so like depending on what what your ideology is, you apparently can take some side quests that are like specific to it. That's probably how you track that information. That's interesting. I'll keep that in mind. I'm kind of afraid to ask this question. We'll see.
huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse, handwritten logs on investigations dating back to January 51, stamped case files, commit to paper. These are the last couple of months of it. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten far enough to. My last playthrough, I did internalize communism. I think because I keep talking, like when I talk to the girl, I was like, I'm here to overthrow the capitalist system. Let's see.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
It's so tempting with with all the great dialogue options they give you, it is so tempting to just be a crazy asshole.
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Let me ask you this: have you? There's a clip. I clipped it because it was so surprising. Um, when you go into the storage area that has all the shipping containers, there's the one that is on the crane. Have you managed to get into it?
Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But the lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large-caliber bullets on an ammo belt.
Anyway, in that shipping container is one of the weirder things I've seen in this game. It's in my highlight reel if you ever want to take a look at it. If you're, not wanting spoilers, I understand.
He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them. Absolutely motionless at first, then animated slowly, imperceptibly even. The lieutenant begins to browse his notes again, leaving you to the case files. Onto the paper with a brash free hand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity.
But he was a dick to me just then.
Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Yeah, what happened with me is I lowered it and was kind of obsessing about it. And then when we went and talked to the union boss, I think it was like the second time I came back, I asked him about it, and he said that I was like talking his ear off or something. And my guy had the idea to, why don't I try like convincing it to open? And it was like a 3% chance roll on like the legendary ones, and I just got a lucky roll, and and there's a really weird scene inside that shipping container.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
No, actually. Any ideas?
Oh, so I give it. So he likes to name them kind of like a Sherlock Holmes short story. Yeah, like I said, I've got it clipped in my highlight reel. It's like, I think it's like 15 minutes long total. But yeah, if you want to, by all means, go look it up, or it's in my feed too if you want. Let's see. So he likes to name it Sherlock Holmes novel. I think it would just be The Hanged Man.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it The Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out. Yes, how very childish of you. In your and my defense, almost everyone in the RCM uses the titular system, in addition to the official alphanumeric. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real.
Well,
Still, I
I
named
guess
it
that's
that
not as funny as I.
to amuse myself. I pray his loved ones never find out.
It's kind of fun. Now that I think of it.
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
It got dark quick.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Let's give that a go.
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the next world mural. Why, yes, your precinct number is 41. Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Okay, so I'm
I
stuck
got
closer.
nothing here either. Logic really isn't the best faculty to have this conversation with, but it's the one you got. So sorry. Yeah, we're staying out of this business for now. HDB is bad news from yesteryear. It's shit, honcho.
I like the writing in this game.
It takes about half an hour to piece one together using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
I just want to see this one.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape. That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead. Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next? Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun. Not
Come back
much
to
has
this later.
changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard. In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Misconduct fines.
The rest of the stinking cellulose it's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment? Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center. With your hands, you 4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee slowly, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. There come 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. Two octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue. It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored. A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says tutti frutti. Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand.
This might have been a mistake.
A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please. Your hand shakes, holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on. To what? There's nothing.
Detective, is everything all right?
Oh, did I fuck up? Yep. Oh, goddamn. Well, now what do I do? Oh, that's hilarious. So, what lesson did we learn? Don't open the clipboard, I guess. Oh man, that's a bummer. Well, let's see how far this autosave puts me back. That was a lot of dialogue and stuff I went through. Whoa.
There is nothing.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's try that again. I think I just broke the game accidentally. Okay, we're just gonna skip right through these because
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like. And it's kind of. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Head.
Not Head, child.
Isn't that very dangerous? Unlike you, sir. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like.
The girl keeps her.
What do you mean, sir?
She looks at the lieutenant stand. She brings out.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't. It was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching.
yeah, it
takes
was
effort.
interesting. By the way, since you last visited my channel, I opened the clipboard and died. So we are speedily going through these dialogue choices again.
I sure hope you...
There she stands. There's something you're missing. You have absolutely no idea. Familiar?
Okay. You are going through this as quick as... No, Okay, so I was examining the clipboard and I shook it, and I heard something rattling around inside, so I had him try to like pry it open, and I passed an interfacing check to get it to open, and I looked at a postcard, and it was from his wife or somebody, and things did not go well. Everything turned black and I fell over.
You see.
Excuse me, officer.
So, if
The
you
back
just
room
happen to be
is
tuning
strictly for
in,
employees only.
I apologize, but we're going to be skipping through some of these dialogue choices because I've read this all. I just read all of
You
this.
see some kind of... This is a traditional inhabitant, aside from poking at it suspiciously.
Nothing. Why on...
She speaks almost oddly enough. The more she tries to draw you away from the curtains. Just as you're about to pull apart the...
Sir, don't touch that. Parapsychologically...
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone...
No, it didn't
always
even give me a
messing with the
chance.
curtains?
Like, it just...
Why can't they
everything
just buy
turned
books
black,
like
and I just...
normal people?
It gave me the option to hold on or fall over. I hit hold on. It said to what, and then I fell over. And then the game just restarted.
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the... Thank you.
Talking is always good. There is something mysterious. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust.
Nothing for now. I'm gonna go get the map again. Guess I'll try to steal it this time.
Several maps. The maps look old and faded. Your eye...
I'm sorry, officer. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martin. Yes, yes. Are you interested or not?
Well, it's a 42%. I'll just...
Always good
You know
to be
what?
informed of your surroundings.
Okay, so we're not... I will revisit the clipboard on my own time, because that was a lot to go through. I do want to get this map going.
The worn map. Your finger finally coming to...
Yeah, after the stream is over, I'll go through and do the clipboard again, just get to where I was at, because I gotta move on to something else. We can't be sitting here for another half
Welcome
hour
to
while I
crime,
look through my
romance,
stuff.
and biographies of famous people. Mine, be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
Let's get this. Actually, maybe I have to wait till I'm out of the conversation. Yeah, I think I can do that right now. Oh, hey! Cool. Yeah, I've never actually seen the map. Just because... Interesting. Okay. Let's see. I'm not gonna ask her for money. I went around asking everyone for money the first time I played
little
this.
shop of culture. Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir.
What in God's name is she talking about?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
It does make sense. Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Great.
Yes, I did.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled would come now? It's not my precious.
Did all
Her
this
dedication
already.
brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening. Good, sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her as a fund. She's securing her financial future out there.
Such criminal behavior would not happen in more developed countries.
Those countries will realize they've raised a lazy and spoiled generation. Are we done with the jokes now?
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here. Right.
God. Ugh. I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of life. She can, if she has enough willpower.
This lady
This
drives
is
me
what's
nuts.
called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
I like that. Even I know that, and I usually don't know anything.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. Tenor, she's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
Yeah, Kuno's less annoying since they changed the voice actor. Okay, I don't really... Yeah, there's not...
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer.
I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books.
It's not cursed, right?
Okay, fine. It's because this place is cursed. Just like Annette said, they don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything? It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism, it's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them.
Wow, void raves. You have new words.
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
Didn't that curtain just move?
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this
Yeah, I don't
building,
think I've
I
met
can
them
tell
yet.
you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here. Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be, so they can return to their slumber.
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective. Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class burglary looks like.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before. You're no para-detective. You look nothing like one. And you're clearly a drinker. Pardon me for being so blunt, but...
You look like one. The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks
I really
out
like
his
him.
notebook. Go ahead then. Rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes.
How do you know all this?
Here we go.
You're part Simonese. Oh, it means our meeting couldn't have been mere chance. The hand of fate guides us. But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us. If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it? Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entities.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney?
Yes, I literally asked everybody I could find for money. I went around, I picked up all the trash I could find. I even took the damn check from the guy, the union boss, and sold it. Still didn't even come close to having enough money. The only thing I could think of that you might be able to get away with it is if you that dude in that shipping container, he says to come back if you have like a really good idea for a business. He might give you some money, but I couldn't find any other way of paying it off. I don't know if that's just one of those things that happens every time. Okay, so the itch. Oh yeah, you never. I got there before it closed, but it still wasn't enough.
Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there.
Interesting.
Some unnatural magic, I assume.
There's the key.
You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains.
Oh.
Take it.
Okay. I didn't know. I every time I come through this, I find lots of new stuff I hadn't done. Like, sometimes it's just a matter of, like, my stat wasn't high enough and I didn't note it. Like, the last time I played the tire tracks that you see outside the where the guy's hanged, didn't think anything of it. Because I guess my perception wasn't high enough.
Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there.
Okay.
Unbelievable darkness and ruin. What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared.
Okay. Yeah, on the PC here,
shit compressor.
there's a option for detective mode, which is
Bizarre
supposed to highlight
scientific
everything
news
that you
from
can
River
interact
Shoal
with.
West today.
I've got
where
it on.
a
I
police
can't really tell the
officer's ship
difference.
has been observed at a pressure.
Show you. It's here in the settings. Got detective mode. I can still hit tab. I guess it does put a bit of an outline on stuff, but it's really hard to see. You can hit tab to see stuff like normal. But let's go see what's in here.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
Oh!
Yeah, the union boss got all irritated with me because he put the check on his desk and I just snatched it and then pretended like I just acted dumb. Okay, so here we've got the door.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room.
Alright. Still got a little while. I think I'm going to keep going for about 20 more minutes, finish up this basement area, and then my friend has a stream going on at 7. I head over there, hang out with them for a bit. But we'll keep going for a little. Shot put ball. Okay. All the time in the world. So we do need to get the body down.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar?
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone.
So is he like a... I guess that...
It's just a memory.
I guess that means that he's a wrestler, like maybe a wrestler or something?
A memory from another life. When you were young and fit.
Interesting. Oh, yes, so he does.
What is this place? Yes, but no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
Oh, that makes...
Eerie
Yeah,
feeling rises in
that
your
makes
chest.
sense. I didn't even think about, like, basic training. Like...
Sounds good.
Okay. Do have the tools. Did bring. Blocked. I can't. Gotta remember to keep hitting the tab button for the inspect areas. Creepy mannequins. Let's see, how close am I to leveling me up again? Not. Bye. You have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Again, if you're still here, I'll be playing again tomorrow, same time. Always enjoy the company.
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same Slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and then pivoted to producing the other.
I never even thought of it. Okay.
That's a good question. Reality is ruthless.
Came in that way. Give this shot. Try it sometime.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. No one has used it in ages.
It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other.
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello?
you've awakened the entity.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
Huh. Okay, so there's a safe. Interesting.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
Interesting.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
And we're back out here. Convenient. Let's go ahead and flashlight up. Save my game. Alright. Well, it's been a pleasure watching or playing this game. And if you happen to be still watching, feel free to hit that follow button. I really appreciate it. And otherwise, you guys just have a nice night. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Bye.